About music?
Yes.
Yes.
Some brothers are doing nasheed songs, including musical instruments.
So some brothers are doing nasheed songs, including musical instruments.
Yes, people like Deen Squad,
Deen Squad.
Adam Salad, and the like.
Adam Saleh.
And people feel like because these people are going Christian, so what they're doing is haram, it's not halal, because they are mentioning the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the words of the Quran. So they feel like that this is not haram.
They think it's not haram.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. Have you seen my video that I made on Deen Squad?
Yeah.
I have a video online about Deen Squad, specifically about Deen Squad. I know them personally. I spoke to them many times. And me, I remember when I spoke to JD and the other brother Carter, you know, they weren't saying to me that it's halal. They said to me, we're going to do our research. They said this to me many times. I spoke to JD many times. Every time I sit with him, he never once says to me, it's halal. He just said, some people told me it's halal. He said, some people told me it's halal, but me personally, every time I give him the evidences, he says, I will research. Every time I meet him, he said to me, I haven't had time yet. So my question is, why is he saying this is halal hip-hop when he hasn't done the research himself? Do you see?
I'm just saying because my husband is doing it and people are accepting it, so it's
Even my husband is doing wrong. That's, like I said to you, sister, look. I mentioned, if I give, not for you, I know you don't, but anyone else who likes music, Mahar Zain, Deen Squad, Adam Saleh, if I give you a cup of water, and I say this cup of water has 1% urine, 1% urine, 99% water, will you drink it? No. So how can you say, Allah, I'm giving you an action, half haram, half halal? The song is about hijabi queen, the song is about Jannah, but it's using music which is haram. Music haram. Like, yeah, you make a song about Hajj, which is halal, Hajj, but you do it with music, haram. So 50% of your action is impure. 50% of your action is filth. You won't drink water with 1% urine, 1% filth. Yet you want Allah to take an action that's half, 50% impure. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan. I don't understand how that makes sense. And you can say, this scholar said it's permissible, that scholar, I ask you a question. Is there a scholar on the face of this earth who ever lived greater than the Prophet ﷺ? He said music is haram. He said people will come and make music halal. People will try and make it halal. Now you have Deen Squad saying what? Halal hip-hop. Halal hip-hop. Does that make sense? I'm not making fun, by the way, so I don't want anyone to think I'm making fun. I'm trying to drive the point home. So you can try however much you want, but wallahi, at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept your action unless two things are there. The first thing your action has to have is sincerity. I'm not saying Deen Squad, and I'm not saying Adam Saleh are not sincere. I'm not saying they are, I'm not saying they're not. But let's just say they are, so they have sincerity. But that's not all. That's not all. There's one other thing they need, otherwise their action is not accepted. And that is, they have to obey the Prophet ﷺ in how he did that. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, Man amila amalan laysa alayhi amruna fahuwa rad. Anyone who does an action that is not from our religion, that Allah never commanded him, or the Prophet never commanded ﷺ, fahuwa rad, Allah will throw it against the wall. So people who do these music and their songs about Allah or whatever, they will come on the day of judgment, and they say, Allah, look what I did for you. And Allah will say, you get a big fat zero. Because no one told you to do this. Brothers and sisters, this issue is so important that Sufyan al-Thawri said, if you want to scratch your head, You want to scratch your head? Is this worship to scratch your head? Is it worship? Is this religion? No, it's just normal, scratch your head. He said, evidence is so important. Try and look for an evidence even when you scratch your head. Even when you scratch your head. Even when you scratch your head, look for an evidence. These people have an evidence against them, yet they're still doing it. I don't understand. Wallahi, I really don't understand. At the end of the day, it seems like people just want to please human beings. They want to become famous. I'm not saying these individuals specifically. Allah knows best. But what would be from the apparent is people don't care about Allah. If you care about Allah, if music was a way to get to people's hearts, don't you think the Prophet would have done it? The Prophet ﷺ, did he have music at his time? Yeah, he did. He could have used it, couldn't he? So do you know better than the Prophet? Do you have a technique of making people remember Allah better than the Prophet? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? There was a man who came to Imam Malik. There was a man who came to Imam Malik. And you know when you go to Hajj, who's been to Hajj or Umrah? Put your hand up. Who's been? You guys haven't been yet? Inshallah, you go one day. Inshallah, I make dua, Allah, please make all my brothers and sisters here go to a house in Makkah, Ya Allah. Please, Allah, every single one of my brothers and sisters here and make it to Hajj, Ya Allah. Please, Ameen, Ameen. It's the month of Ramadan, Allah accepts du'as, inshallah ta'ala. When you go to Hajj, you start, you know when the men wear the white clothes? It's called, you enter the state of Ihram. The place that you start when you wear it is called the Miqat. The what? It's called the Miqat. Now there's a Miqat in Medina. This is the point. The Prophet used to stand in this place, this area, he would say, okay, Hajj is starting now. He would have a shower of ghusl, he would place the white cloth on, and then he would go to Mecca from Medina. A man came to Imam Malik and he said, Ya Imam, I'm going to start my Hajj. I'm going to start a few steps before the Miqat. Say the Miqat is there, he said, I'm going to go there, I'm going to start from there. Why? Because he wants to come and struggle and walk longer to Makkah. Imam Malik said, no, don't you dare. What an evil thing. What an evil thing you're going to do. The man looked at him and said, Ya Imam, what do you mean evil? Khutuwat, just a few steps. You tell him just a few steps back is a problem. A few steps back. Imam Malik said, it's not a few steps. That's not the point. The point is not that you're just taking a few steps. The point is that you think you know better than the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You see? So my sisters and my brothers, music is one example. There are many things like this. Don't just restrict it to music. If you don't, you are a slave. Do you know that? Do you know that? We're slaves. The Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنْ كَالْجَمَلِ الْأُنْثِ حَيْثُمَا قِيلٍ قَالٍ. That the believer is like a camel who's grabbed by the nose. By the nose. Camel grabbed by the nose. Why? If I take my camel and grab it by the nose, can he pull back? What happens if he pulls back? What's going to happen to his nose? It's going to rip. The Prophet didn't say neck. He didn't say camel with a rope around the neck. Because if it's around your neck, you can pull. My neck's strong. Grab my neck and pull back. You can't pull me back. This is my neck's got straight. But the nose, no. You grab the camel, it goes wherever you take it. Because the nose is delicate. The nose might rip. So the camel goes wherever you nose. Wherever you put it, it goes. The Prophet said that's what you and me are like. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنْ كَالْجَمَلِ الْأُنْثِ. We are like a camel grabbed by the nose. We go wherever we're taken. So Allah, the evidence points you in this direction. We say, Allah, we're going here. Allah says, go there. We say, Allah, we're going here. Allah says, go backwards. We go backwards. Allah says, go forward. Go forward. Look at Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam. What did Allah tell him to do? What did he say to him? He said, take your baby and your wife and leave them in a desert. Did he say, Allah, why? Allah, no, why? No. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنْ كَالْجَمَلِ الْأُنْثِ. He just obeyed. Allah, okay. أَسْلَمْتُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. I submit to you, Ya Allah. Whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do. I'll drop my wife, I'll drop my baby boy in the desert. No food, no drink, nothing. Many years later, the boy grew up. What did Allah say to him? What did he say to him? He said, cut his neck. Cut his neck. Sacrifice him to me. So what did he do? He went to his son. He said, my son, I saw a dream. I saw Allah. I didn't see Allah. He said, I saw in my dream that Allah told me I have to sacrifice you. What do you say? Forget Ibrahim alayhi salam. He's not going to disobey Allah. The little boy Ismail, you know what he said? He said, Father, do what Allah said. Do what Allah said. You will find me patient. إنما المؤمن كالجمل الأنثى. We're like a camel held by the nose. We don't ask the question. Our master is Allah. The one who taught us our religion is the Prophet ﷺ. That's it. Music is haram. Wallahi, I really, I ask, and inshallah this video will go out to them, the likes of Deen, Adam Salih, all of them, please, leave this behind. Especially in the month of Ramadan. Dropping mixtapes and all these kind of things. It shows the month of Ramadan, the month of Quran. I told you, the scholars said Quran and music don't come together in the heart. Allah said, Shahr Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. Then what did he say? Alladhi, the one in which the Quran came down. Unzila fihi al-Quran. That's what this month is about. And you drop a mixtape before the month starts.